All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh,
Bashem,
Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to Apostle Nels, the Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all Sisei Akim, during afflictions, making their calling and election sure. It's your brother Kabar.
It's your brother Yutazaka.
And we back with another one. What was the title on this one?
Avengers versus Offenders.
Hey,
can you get that word Avenger in Google? Just see what we get for that. Real quick, since we said that.
Avenger. Just Avenger?
Mm-hmm.
Lord willing, this lesson be edifying to the elect, Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai, Baruch HaKadosh, Baruch Atam, to all sincere listeners who may hear this. First type it in, you get that Marvel movie. Let me just get definition. So the definition of Avenger says, a person who exacts punishment or inflicts harm in return for an injury or wrong.
Ooh, hold on, read that one more time.
Avenger, it says, a person who exacts punishment.
A person who exacts punishment.
Or inflicts harm. In return.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Recompense,
yep. Yep, for an injury or a wrong.
Ooh, but dang. So ultimately, Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai, he's our avenger. He's the avenger of the elect. Where it say, shall not Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai avenge his very elect? You know what I'm saying? So Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai, he's the avenger of the elect. You know what I'm saying? So, that Marvel movie, Thanos, and what was it? It was the Marvel characters who was the Avengers, right? Yeah. So Spider-Man, Spider-Man, and Thor, Iron Man. Those not the real Avengers, man. You know what I'm saying? Really, those are the offenders, man. Why? Because they're offended against, because those characters are pretty much like idols, and the gods of this world, and ultimately they've been offenses towards Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai and his men. Why? Because they're adverse, they're adversarial, so ultimately the true avenger is Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai. What he's gonna avenge for all those who have put harm and injury towards our people. Which who put these idols on the forefront? That was Esau Edom, man. He put these idols and these different devices on the forefront, man. That's why it says in Sirach 10, because of unrighteous dealings and injuries,
Yep.
riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one to another, and that's going to be that punishment that's exactly for, the harm and the wrongdoing that he has done, which comes primarily all through his witchcraft,
Yep.
You got something to add?
Nah, I had that you just quoted in Luke 18, but you probably was holding that later.
Luke 18?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm definitely holding that. I got it in Matthew, though.
Okay,
Can we get Offender, too, on Google real quick? It's a lot, just to see what we get for that as well. Because I think they are like anonyms for each other,
Offender. It says a person who commits an illegal act. It says a person or thing that offends, does something wrong, or causes problems.
Or causes problems. Someone who does wrong or causes problems. Someone who causes harm or injuries. Because if you do wrong or cause problems, that's harmful. That's injurious. So ultimately, you have to be exacted the punishment for that. So pretty much an offender is like adverse to an avenger. Which we want to be on the side of the Avengers, because Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai, he gonna set up men who are Avengers as well, on his behalf, which ultimately, if we are those men, us, doing the work of the Lord, we're Avengers as well. We're avenging everything that has come against our nation by speaking out against it, man. Speaking out against those who have done did it, and pretty much crying a sign for the Heavenly Father to bring forth judgment for that, so we're avengers in a sense already. Lord willing, with those men, we're gonna literally turn to avengers, on those who have did wrongdoing and harm and injuries unto our nation.
Yep. Con.
You can bring that Luke 17.
Con, this is in St. Luke 17 and verse 1. It says, "Then said he unto the disciples."
Yahushua said unto his disciples, which we hope we're disciples, followers. So this is what Yahushua Mashiach, would be saying unto us.
It says, "It is impossible that," it says, Slakia, "it is impossible, but that offenses will come."
So it's impossible but that offenses will come. Offenses gonna come,
Mm-hmm. It says, "But woe unto him through whom they come."
Why? Because you got the Avengers gonna come for them, man. Which the Avengers, Yahabashim, what they say, Hebrews the 10th chapter, there's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. You can get that word offenses as well, Avakasha.
In Google?
On Blue Letter. Let's see what we can do. So it says, it's impossible that offenses can come. So offenses is gonna happen. People are gonna get offended. Harmful, wrongdoing, wrongful things are gonna happen. But guess what? It says, "Woe unto those by whom they come." And we know what that word "woe" means. Death, destruction. Pretty much ultimate terror unto you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Strong's G 4625. Skandalon.
It says, "For the word offenses, the movable stick or trigger of a trap stick, a trap, snare, any impediment placed in the way and causing one to stumble or fall."
It's more than that slot.
Yes, it says a stumbling block, and in parentheses, a stumbling block, occasion of stumbling, i.e. a rock, which is a cause of stumbling.
And that's that really, you can really apply that to Esau on a maximum level, because he's the accuser of thine brethren. He set up all these different devices, to get us trapped and snared. They set up, how that script go out when they be like, they set up traps and snares.
I know you're talking about it into my Psalms or
I'm not exactly for sure. It's like the Lord, what we can find it.
I don't know if you're talking about Psalms 55, but I thought it was Psalms 55:21, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if that's the one he was talking about.
How'd that go?
Let me see if I could just pull it up. No, it's not the one, but just to get it. Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And that's how these offenses are put in place. Like, you wouldn't even think that, you know what I'm saying? Particular men, all right, like Esau, you know what I'm saying, would do particular things, and that's that snare. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna stumble upon particular people, man. That's why scriptures say, "Never trust thine enemy," man. You know what I'm saying?
So let me get this.
You got it?
I don't think this is. Well, I'm gonna just grab this. It's Job 18 and 7. This Job chapter 18 verse 7. It says, "The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. The jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way." And that's ultimately going into, how, Esau, he set up all these different booby traps. What, you gonna say something else?
I think I found one that you was thinking.
Oh, okay, Khan. What's that one?
Jeremiah 5:26.
Yeah, I think that might be it, Khan. Yeah, that might be it. But yeah, ultimately, Esau, he set up all these different devices and traps and snares. But ultimately, Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna trap you in your own snares and traps. But because he like to set up stumbling blocks, man. For others, and Yahweh Shema Shai, ultimately, he casting you down in your own counsel, man.
Like, I forgot what it was, a show or movie that I watched recently, but when they roll that thing out when you drive in the car, they roll that.
Spike strips.
The spike strip. They roll that spike strip out, man.
Yeah.
This is in the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 5 and 26. It says, "For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait It says, as he that setteth snares, they set a trap, they catch men.
Ooh, God, bro. And you got some of our people too who are offenders, man. You know, who are offenders. They set snares and they set traps, man. You know, and they catch men. You know, but ultimately, you know, that makes you an offender. You know, and you're gonna have to pay for that, man. You know, how do our people set snares and traps? You know, because they will lead our people to continue to stay in the way of this society, you know, stay in the way of this system, this beast system, you know, the way of thinking in this place, you know, or, you know, push people to follow their wicked ass philosophies, man. You know, all those things are, you know, setting up stumbling blocks, setting up snares and traps, man. And that makes you an offender, man. You know, Yahweh Shema Shai gonna, you know, exact punishment on you for that. You know, just like if you telling our people to go do black protesting, you know, Black Lives Matter protesting, that's being the offender. That's setting up snares and traps for them, because ultimately you trying to keep them engulfed in the way of this society. Yahweh Shema Shai is the one who's going to give us retribution. We can't give ourselves retribution. We can't promote ourselves. Tell you that in Psalm 75, for promotion coming from not from the east, the west, nor the south, you know, the south or the north, but promotion coming from the Lord, you know. So if you pushing something that's adverse to that, you're an offender, you know, and Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna make you pay for that. You're gonna have to pay for that, you know.
Yep.
Let's go to that Matthew 18:7. Was it more in the definition? Offenses?
Let me just double check. I think there was another one. Let me see. Back in that word offenses, it says any person or thing by which one is entrapped, drawn into error or sin.
Yeah, bro, drawn into error or sin, man. Which our people, they're all about that, you know. Man, they promote it through the music, you know. Of course, you know, which we know Esau Edom, he's the number one offender, because he set up the whole music industry, you know. But our people, you know, they push it, you know, to our people as well, you know, so that makes them offenders too, you know. But you know, it's plenty of devices that can come forth from, you know, being an offender. If you teaching anything or telling somebody anything outside of the way of Yahweh Shema Shai, you're an offender, you know. And you're gonna have to pay for that, man. You know, just like you telling somebody, oh, they need to focus on going to school and getting a job in this career, you know what I'm saying? You pretty much taking them away from their servitude in Yahweh Shema Shai, man. You know, which you know, of course, you know, we gotta do things to survive in this society, but ultimately you don't supposed to put nothing before Yahweh Shema Shai. And that's, you know, that if you putting something in the way of something, that makes you a stumbling that makes it a stumbling block, man. You know?
Yep. You need to get out there and vote.
God, bro. God, you're an offender, man. You know, you're an offender. So that's why it says it's impossible that offenses may come, because it's so much BS out here, man.
Yeah,
it's so much BS that you can get involved into, and it's so much BS that your mind can get wrapped into to think that it's okay. You know, but they go into that Proverbs 16. There's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death, man. You know, because why? Because that robber gonna prevail against you. You know, you're gonna be straightened in your own counsel, which ultimately we know they was talking about Esau, but you know that goes for anyone who, you know, try to take counsel outside of Yahweh Shema Shai, because why is his counsel is the only thing that's gonna stand. You know.
Bro.
You got any precepts up?
Nah, that's cool.
Yeah, whenever you got something, I'll just jump in. Let's get Matthew. You got Matthew 18.
This is you said 18. We're gonna start
7. What's like you?
6.
Yeah, might as well start at 6.
Say Matthew 18:6 says, but whoso shall offend one of these little ones.
And who's the little ones? The little ones are the ones who, you know, who you are offending, you know, or who you're trying to offend, you know, because ultimately, you know, you set up a trap or a snare on somebody because, you know, they don't have they're not circumspect or don't have the type of discernment, so you think you can catch them in that trap, you know. Like if you set up a trap for somebody you like, oh, they not gonna be able to peep this. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna be able to peep this trap. So you set it up because you feel like, okay, they're not gonna have the ability to be able to peep the trap or the snare that you done set up. You know, just like a bird. If you set up a gin for a bird, you know, ultimately that bird just gonna be flying in the air, then it's gonna get caught in it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a bird ain't gonna be observant enough to, you know, peep that. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna fly and run into it. You know, so, and we're considered as sheep. You know, with sheep, you know, they're just, well, scriptures speak about how our people are just sheep led to the slaughter. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, you know, that sheep being led to the slaughter is our people trusting in wickedness, man. You know, trusting in oppression, you know, which ultimately is going to lead to their demise and their destruction. Why? Because that's that stumbling block, that snare that they got caught up in. You know, then them believing in it and then pushing it, you know, that makes them offenders as well, you know. So they're going to have to, you know, pay double time, you know.
Yep.
So okay, you got it. Go ahead. So like
just to land back, because like ultimately we understand that it's all through the spirit and power. How shy. It's like, are you gonna be on the left hand or the right hand? You know what I'm saying?
Avenger or offender.
Avenger or offender. God. This is in the book of Amos 3, and I was just gonna start at 4 or 5, but I could start you know, we can start at the top, but just get to the point. This is Amos 3 in verse 5. It says, can a bird fall in a snare upon the earth where no gin is for him? Shall one take up a snare from the earth and have taken nothing at all? Shall trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city and the Lord, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, hath not done it? Surely the Lord, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, will do nothing but reveal his secrets to his servants, the prophets.
Oh, I got a precept for that. You break it down, Salaki.
I should have pulled it up on this one here. But yeah, man. You know, this is basically the snares is put in place. You know what I'm saying? This is all Most High is in control of all of this, man. It's only a matter of, all right, where do we fall in this thing? Like me and the brother did a lesson on how everyone plays a role in this finale, man. You know, are you gonna be an offender or are you gonna be a avenger, man? You know?
Yep. Good. This Romans chapter 11 and verse I started 7. This Romans chapter 11 verse 7. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. And David said, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. God, bro. So like you were saying, this really ultimately all the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Really, if you want to get down to the nitty gritty of it, you know what I'm saying? But Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has been avenged you, you know, for you bringing forth offenses against him. Why? Because you are your table is a snare and a stumbling block, man. You know, so ultimately, since you wanted to bring offenses to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua gave you made you a offender. That's why, which he's gonna avenge you for being a offender. You know, so that's wild, man. You know, that's why, like they say, a bird can a bird be caught in a snare? What is how I go in that Amos 3 up?
Let me just get it again. So in Amos 3 in verse 5, it says, can a bird fall in a snare upon the earth where no gin is for him?
Right, yeah, bro. So you can't fall, a bird can't fall in a snare upon the earth unless it, you know, where no gin is for him. And Yahweh Bashem Yahushua got gins for these birds, man. You know, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua got bins for, well, he said, it going to Jeremiah 12 and Jeremiah the 12th chapter and other scriptures, it refers to us as birds. Like Yahweh Bashem Yahushua said, my people are my inheritance is like unto a speckled bird. You know, so Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, you know, he has that snare ultimately laid for those who have you know, put forth snares. Them same wicked men that it was speaking of in Jeremiah the 5th chapter. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua put he made them offenders for bringing forth offenses on him, you know, while back. That's why I say, yet to this day, they still have stumbling. Their table is stumbling blocks and snares. You know.
Yeah, I had a couple. I know you had a few.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
This is in let me pull it up.
You want me to pull it for you? What you got?
Job 12 and 16.
I got you.
And then I was gonna get 2 Timothy 3.
This Job chapter 12 and verse 16. It says, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his.
The deceived and the deceiver are his, man. You know, talking about Yahweh Bashim Hashai, man. You know, unless I'm mistaken. You know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah, that's who else is it?
Who else would it be?
Good.
I mean, kind.
Yeah.
But, you know, just making sure, you know.
We
definitely, you know, so that's why we got brothers around us. But it says with him is wisdom and strength, man. You know, the deceived and the deceiver, man. So if you're the offender, you know what I'm saying, then you're really offended.
Dang, yeah, that's wow. That's a hell of a point.
You're offending yourself.
That's wild. Yeah, you put a snare on your own self, man. You put a trap on your own self, man. You know? That's why Jake be like my brother, he be saying, he be like, you gotta trap it out. You know what I'm saying? I just thought about that, bro. We gotta trap it out. You know what I'm saying? So we can get this money. Bro, that whole philosophy, you're trapped in your whole own thought process just by saying that. You know what I'm saying? Think that you're being an offender, you know, and thinking that that's okay, that makes you in a trap. You know, when you talking about trapping it out, really that's literally a trap for you that you're gonna fall into and be destroyed by, you know.
Dang, had me thinking one little one I could find it.
But what you said? What's the other one you said?
Yeah,
Timothy.
2 Timothy 3 and like 13.
I got you. This
Ooh, yeah, I found it. The one I was thinking about.
This 2 Timothy. Oh, you want me to bring that one first?
You good? It's locked in.
Okay. This 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived.
Deceiving and being deceived, man. This is talking about evil men, man. Ultimately, you can go in this chapter. It's talking about
a hell of a precept. So like you
good. You got it.
Man, I'm reading it one more time for you. It's a lot. That just it just hit me. You know what I'm saying? That's fire. This 2 Timothy 3 and 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived.
You got it.
God, bro. Yeah. So ultimately, you know, you're deceiving. But you're being deceived. You know what I'm saying? You're setting stumbling blocks. You're setting more and more stumbling blocks and more snares. But more and more snares and more traps are being set for you as you doing it. That's why I say what goes up must come down. You know, judgment shall be likened unto a ring. One of your favorite precepts. Good, bro.
God. Yep. That's why, you know, scriptures talk about, you know, a righteous man, he rise up again, but the wicked is gonna fall into mischief, man. You know what I'm saying? Being deceived, man. You can be falling into mischief, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That stumbling stone.
That stumbling stone. God, bro.
Yep.
Yo, that's wild.
I had that one in Isaiah 42.
God, bro. God.
And 22.
Isaiah 42. Oh, yeah, I was thinking of that earlier. Yep. It's Isaiah 42. Isaiah 42 and 22. It says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. And they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none said restore.
Yep. It's in a trap, man.
God.
We're just trapped, man. That's basically our people, man. God, you know, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, man.
God, bro. When you go into that word system, it goes in the pit, man. You know, so the American system is a pit, man. You calling yourself an American, you want to live based upon the American system. You know, you're in a trap. This is a trap. You know. So ultimately, that prison, you know, is really America. You know. That trap is really America, which is.
I think it might be ready.
Okay, kind. You want to grab it and then come back? Kind, yeah. We're gonna pause it real quick, brothers, and then we're gonna have to stop it. Yeah, we're gonna come right back, brothers, Lord willing.
Kind. Shalom.
Shalom.